Hey, good morning. I'm working on a small block Chevy and I'm going to be replacing this stock oil pump with this higher pressure model, and I'm going to be reusing one of these oil pickups. So there's a lot of videos on YouTube with how to change these, how to possibly drive them in. That's where the big issue comes. It is difficult to remove them too. So I want to give you my take on it. There's a lot of different takes on it and different people saying things. So let's have a look at what my suggestion is. Alright, so the first thing you need to understand is that this is I believe it's called an interference fit, where the pickup tube is actually slightly, and I mean slightly, like thousandths of an inch larger than the bore it goes into. Therefore, once it's pressed in, the structure of the tube wants to try to expand, and basically it's held in by friction. Now, a lot of people will tell you after you put one of these in to tack weld just to be safe, so it doesn't fall out or drop. You know, maybe you won't be getting your oil pressure. So that's important, I guess. Whether I do that or not, I do not know yet. So, but there's a lot of different videos. Like I said, people have different ways of doing things, and there's tools to press these in, and some of them are quite pricey. So if you're just a now and then builder, or maybe this is a one-time thing, you want to save a little money from going to a machine shop or anything where they're going to pop it right in and charge you whatever. I decided to make my own tool, and there's a tool that looks, this one here I made, and it's made out of basically, hold on, I'm just trying to get my camera, there we go, now I can see what I'm doing. Right, so this one I basically made out of just another piece of metal from an old machine, and it's a 5/8 bore. So there you go, I'm already set up. Now there's a tool that they sell, and it basically is a clamshell, and it has the full circle on it. So you wrap the clamshell around, I'll try to find a picture of it too, to just throw it up on the side here. But you basically put the tool around the pickup shaft down here, and two bolts will go in here, and it squeezes it, and it fully surrounds it. Well, it really isn't necessary to fully surround the tube. I found, so this works just perfect. And I was looking all over my shop, all over the place, because there's tons of things here to get, to try to find different ideas. And in one case, I took a large nut. This was probably my first thing I did. Did the same kind of thing, caught it, and then all of a sudden I just looked over and saw that plate with the two holes on the ground. Now if you look, this will go right over the tube, and really it pops right in. Now I'm going to take it out and we're going to put it in, but I realized not everybody has one of those pieces of metal around. So what I was doing was looking at another video just for some reason, and a guy, I had thought about this actually previously, but I thought it was too much of a hack. A guy took a 5/8 wrench, because 5/8 is the size of this tube, goes around it, and then he beats the wrench over here, and it goes in, but I think you're losing a lot of force not hitting it right here. So if you have a crappy old 5/8 wrench, or not even crappy, it's just not worth a lot of money to replace, you might have one of these laying around, and then what the idea I'm going to do is weld the shaft, a striking shaft, and just use a carriage bolt. It's got a head on it, so it'll make good contact with a hammer, and basically you're going to see how easy it goes in. So I'm going to make this tool. It's actually going to be like this. We're going to cut this off, and then we'll see how it works. But first what I want to do is I want to pull the screen out, to pick up with a screen, and pull it out and show you how I do it. Now everybody says never put one of these in a vise, but guess what? I put mine in a vise. So what I do is I open my vise, and I had done this before, while I was testing things, and I didn't use these soft jaws. So it did leave a little bit of bite marks from the teeth, and if you have any kind of sense of feel, you'll know when enough is enough. You don't want to crush the tube because it could deform it down where it goes into the bore. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you take it out with heat. It won't take long. Okay, now if you're not planning on ever reusing this, I guess you don't have to worry about how much heat you apply, but there's not a, I don't believe there's any rubbers in or seals in there, rubber seals. And so you're just going to see, this is MAP gas. It heats up things a little quicker than just propane, but you'll see how quickly this will come apart. The idea is you're heating up the pump quickly before the tube gets hot. Okay, so now it's in a vise, and I just started heating it a little bit, but it started slipping, so I'm tightening it up. And if you notice, I'm tightening it up near the neck. So if I do put a little bit of a squeeze shape on it, and I really don't feel much pressure, I'm holding the handle for the vise in the middle where I won't get that much torque. So now I'm heating it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly take it off. I'm going to put a glove on because it's going to get hot in the area. So let's find out. Oh, there you go. So there we go. We got her out, and then we're going to make our tool and then pop it back in. Now, positioning of these screens is important to what kind of depth oil pan you're using and things like that. I'm not going to go into that. There's plenty of other people's videos to learn all that, you know, with measuring depth using clays and things like that to check it. We're just going to build a tool here. Now, because all I want is the open end on the wrench, I'm just going to actually weld the bolt on before I cut it off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to weld. And I realize not everybody's got a MIG welder. Perhaps you've got a set of gas tanks where you could gas weld it. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this, well, actually weld it down right here. That's going to give me the striking force that I want, that's very close to the pipe. So let's spark up the welder. And that was just in case there's any kind of coating on there so it sticks better. I'm not 100% concerned if I can have it perfectly straight up and down. Okay, we'll let that cool, then cut it off. Still got this piece of the wrench. It's a little warm now. So, just gonna dress it up a little bit with the sander. That's good enough for the demo. I can go back and make it prettier later on. Let's see how it works. Okay, again, everybody tells you don't put them in a vise, but this thing's a pretty clunky, thick piece. It's made out of some pretty good, I believe it's cast. And another thing I'm going to mention is that this tube I'm using has already been in and out another time, so I'm not reusing either piece of it. So I would say maybe do this once, and after that, if you got to reposition it or something, maybe it's time for a new one. Well, you still have to knock it in. So let me show you it getting knocked in. So again, you're going to need to get your position down, and we need to reposition ours to let it hang past a little more. I think they worry so much about telling everybody not to vise it down, because some people just don't have a sense of when things are tight enough. And I used to run into that all the time working with people. Before you did something and then you get it and it's like, really? Did it need to be that tight? So again, positioning would be important. I think this is about where it was. We're just going to put it in. If you notice, you don't have far to go. You only have about, look at that, it's probably 1/4 of an inch. And you know what, let's do it on the bench top, because I don't want it to move and then somebody bitches at me. So, okay, we got it sitting on the bench top, and it's going to move around until I hold it. But I'm going to get a hammer. And I'm using a pretty big BFH because I want it to go in on the first clobber. So again, you're going to get your depth before you do this. Make clock marks so you can get it right. Now this, like I said, it's 5/8 fits right over. Watch. One hit and it's in. And that was the same thing result I got with this tool. Now I do like this one better because it's heavier, and I didn't have another carriage bolt that heavy laying around, so I just used this one and it worked. So that's how I will be doing this. And you can see it's just starting to, it's still hot, but it's cooling down. And again, you can physically move some of these. So I would put a tack if I was going to reuse this one, which I am not. So I hope this idea, some people, if they're looking for a tool and they don't have one, that's what this video is about. It's a hack, I know, but it works. And thank you for taking a look. Okay, so that's the end of this video. And again, you know, I prefer this tool. It was easy. I didn't spend any money whatsoever. Had everything right in front of me. I know people don't have welders, everybody, or work with one. And this is very hot yet, actually, because it's been heated. But I'm sure this will like get pretty tight. But okay, the point of this video is, all of a sudden you want to change your oil pump, you don't have a tool, right? You can make one in like 20 minutes with a wrench and a bolt. So if you can look around, you find something a little meatier like this, great. I was going to make a tool that fully encompassed the pickup, but it really isn't necessary. This goes, if you can get up to 50% covered, I've seen people poke them in with screwdrivers, going all around the whole thing with a screwdriver, and that even works, but it's a little more difficult and wobbly. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, you can hit the thumbs down. I'll never see it's been disabled. And the point of it all was, you're working on your engine, suddenly you get to the oil pump, and you don't know how either to get the screen out to reuse it, or you can't figure out how in the world you're going to pop a new one in. So in about 20 minutes you can make this tool. Now the other thing I thought of is, if I did not have the welder, put a cheapy wrench, which tends not to be as hardened as like a good snap-on or something, get your torch out, heat it at the neck, and basically bend, let's get the old piece out. You bend this like this. It won't be as close on target, but I think it'll work pretty good anyway. I was thinking about doing just that, but I have the welder and the cut-off wheels and stuff. So thanks for taking a look. Have a good day.